Hey y'all, welcome back to Key is King. I am Key, I am King, and today we will be reviewing maybe not the latest, but the first reunion episode of The Real Housewives of New York, season 15. This is episode 16. Yes. And we are opening with Brynn getting ready in her chair. Mind you, they open with everybody getting ready, but they are focusing on Brynn because she is watching the last episode for the first time. And shocker, but she's acting confused as she's watching the episode and listening to what the ladies have to say about her, because apparently being a liar blocks your memory cells. I don't fucking know. But they're all getting ready. It's really just all the typical bullshit. Everybody is mad at Brynn. I think Brynn was talking to Jessel at one point and thinks everything is okay, and Jessel's like, are you serious? And then it's time for all the ladies to start walking out in their looks. And, of course, Jenna comes out first, and I dare say iconic reunion look, which is a robe, her little towel but diamonds dripping, sunglasses on. And she definitely got a reaction from Andy, so points were made. But everybody's coming out. They all look pretty good for the most part. Like, I have to give it to them. This was a pretty well-dressed reunion. I'm trying to think if anybody stands out as, like, really the worst. And not really. People were giving Brynn a bunch of shit about her outfit, but I liked it. I didn't think it was awful. Maybe, yeah, I didn't even really give it that much thought. I thought it was fine. But everyone is out on the couches, and the fun begins. So they're getting into, like, opening packages, opening remarks, introductions, if you will. And one of the first real things that they talk about is Raquel's mom, and whether or not Raquel has seen or really spoken to her since. And my theories earlier, I guess in the long run, were true. Like, Raquel's mom was a flop, and she's kind of just a crash and burn. But I thought they were going to at least play that out in the episode. But seeing how the episodes ended and how the season ended, I understand why the Raquel mom storyline just kind of got faded into obscurity. But Raquel reveals that, like I said, she hasn't talked to her mom, hasn't seen her, definitely hasn't been to New York or Puerto Rico since, isn't really talking with the kids, alleges that she doesn't watch the show, but people fucking talk, especially ethnic people. Ethnic people love to gossip. So, I think all people love to gossip, but that is definitely, the game of telephone is no stranger to my family, I'll say that. So that was really all, but they did talk about the lesbonics of it all, which I'm glad they did, because I was like, it was a lot. So maybe the lesbonics did it, and Raquel's mom picked up on it and was just like, I'm definitely never coming back around these people again. But Andy was like, what was wrong with you guys? Like, it was cringy. And so I was like, yeah, I called it out in the moment. It was. Jenna didn't have anything to really say. She didn't have any excuse for why. She decided to wait until Raquel's homophobic mother was in the same house as them to start kissing every woman on the mouth. But I'm glad they called it out, because what the fuck was that? And for those of you that didn't choose to watch this yourself, or I just would like for me to say it out loud because I love to hear this out loud too, this whole reunion was a jump Brynn moment. They were fucking Brynn up, and I lived for it. Lived for it. This shit was funny as fuck. But they're all arguing, they get into it. Sai and Brynn are really the first ones to really get into it. Brynn is claiming that she was tortured by these women, and they tormented her. Okay. And Sai was like, where are my flashbacks of me lying? Like, where's the clips? You have a bunch of them because you're a fucking liar. Sai was like, don't put that on me. And facts are facts. And although Brynn sucks and is a pathological liar and is girl interrupted, she managed to still get Aaron caught up. She was like, Aaron, you called me 6 names. And Aaron is like, what are you talking about? Flashback. She barely made the tally, but she called her 6 different things. Variety of crazy to soulless to whatever else she called her. But Brynn got a point on that one. And Aaron is just Naniston, even with child, is still Naniston. But what led them even into the conversation about the names that Aaron called Brynn is because they were talking about the text messages that were sent before, and Brynn and the whole carbon monoxide thing that she went on and on about because she was mad at Aaron one time. So she was trying to justify herself, her being Brynn. Didn't really work though. Did not really work. Like I said, this whole reunion is going to be dedicated to the takedown of Brynn, and front row seats for it. So this eventually leads them into the conversation about Brynn and just all of her embellishments and her lies, and we loop Jessel into the conversation because we're of course talking about Jenna being broke and what Aaron said about Uber and all this stuff. And so Jessel chimes in or is asked, and she's like, yeah, the conversation did come off as if like there was something funny being said. She gets pressured, she gets yelled at a little bit, and all of a sudden, literally, when I tell you production hates Jessel just as much as these women does, cricket. Production, oh my god. Production hates Jessel as much as these women do. Because they immediately flash back to like 44 seconds prior, and Jessel said something completely different to what she landed on, which went against what Brynn was saying, which Brynn was very annoyed by. But it was, I was like, damn Jess, damn Jessel, like this is why these women kind of fuck with you a little bit. She's flopped and switched on Brynn a little bit, and I don't mind that it was at Brynn's expense, but still I don't love that Jessel was made to seem like a liar in that moment. It was brief, but I was like, I don't do Jessel slander. That's the star, she's my fave. They continue to argue. Brynn is of course looping it back into Jeff Lewis and her having a sugar daddy, and the job and the money she makes. And Sai gets to a point where she's like, Brynn, what do you do? What do you do? And of course, because Brynn probably sucks dick for money and can't answer the question, she goes, I do your job. That's what I do. Which is one of those eye roll that's not a real answer. That's like you just being a child type shit. And so Sai's like, okay. And so Andy wraps all this up by asking her, are you still in therapy? Like, how's that going? She's like, I did it for 4 months. I feel better. And that checks out. She's doing a little better, but she ain't healed, I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that much. They then move the reunion on to Erin, who's had a mixture of good and bad times. Obviously, both her parents had cancer. I'm not sure how her mom's doing on her journey currently, but her dad passed away. His lung cancer came back, which is very fucking sad. But she was able to let him know that she was pregnant before he died and that she's expanding her family, which was very nice. But looking back at Erin's package of like her just time throughout the season, although I'm not the biggest Erin fan, she did have some very big, major, and hard storylines. She talked about abortion. She talked about her parents and cancer. She talked about like all this other stuff. She was also a gaslighter and just a narcissist a lot of the time. So I guess with the good comes the bad comes the good always, right? But the real stuff, the stuff that humanized her, was very real. And props to Erin for getting through that, in all honesty. And I hope she has a very healthy baby in pregnancy. Outside of all of that, still not a fan. I'm a human. I have a heart. So after that, they move on and show a package of all the women who were trying to get pregnant, which is that has to be such a hard thing to kind of navigate in a friend group. You had 3 women that were desperately trying to get pregnant, and then Erin just comes in and has her like 3rd or 4th child. That has to, I wonder if that stings a little bit. It seems like the optics of it that it would, because that's just human nature. It's hard to see somebody have something that you want. But that's a package that we're focused on. All 3 of the women that were interested, which are Brynn, Jessel, and Uba, in getting pregnant, they show their journey throughout the season. And it leads to them talking about Brynn's experience with her sexual assault and how she still sees this man socially, and how that, can only imagine how hard that is for her. But she's talking about that, and all the women are very reactive to it and crying to it. Uba was pretty much saying she would kill him if she saw him, and that was her. Which, thank God it's not Uba. Like, I'm sorry that it happened to Brynn, of course, but like, Uba literally was insinuating she would like murder somebody, so I'm happy it did not happen to her. Really. But it, like I said, it's very ironic that none of the triers actually ended up getting pregnant. Jessel has like stopped her journey. Gideon the Gooped, like I predicted in my crystal ball, was not trying to give Brynn a drop of sperm. Not a tail, not a swimmer, nothing. And has not done so, and probably won't, honestly. And then Uba's getting fibroid surgery, so she's going to try after she heals. So hopefully it sounds like 1 out of the 3 still might have a chance of being in the running of being America's Next Top Mommy. But Not looking good for the majority of that group. And to further further strengthen my dead, what's the expression? Crickets are gonna kick my ass today. You can't beat a dead horse. So to prove my beaten horse theory that these people all hate Jessel, they then move on, or Andy transitions to Jessel having a glow up since first season, which took her by surprise, and then wanted to know what she got done. And Brynn's over there insinuating that she knows what she's got done, or she's lying about the stuff she's gotten done. Jessel said that she got fillers and Botox, and Brynn was insinuating that she ran out on her bill, which is insulting as fuck, obviously. But Jessel's like, what are you talking about? Like, we had a deal. I posted on Instagram. I did a live with her. We exchanged services and goods, essentially, not money. But this whole thing was just made to put an emphasis on the fact that Jessel has grown up so much and has had so much work done to be beautiful. Which, as Jessel said, like, was I haggard before? Like, the insinuation is that she was fucking just ugly as shit before. Which was not the case. But they really spent this time to try to embarrass her. And as this is happening, they're like trying to pull information out because Jessel's like, I had Botox. And they're like, okay, and what else? And Aaron's like whispering over there, this is what our problem is. She's not forthright with things. Like, the hate is like, I could smell it through my screen. They are haters. Could smell the hate on your breath. Like, just dumbass bitches. Sorry. Sorry to say it. But Jessel looks just sad and upset while this is happening because Andy goes on to talk about, well, your teeth look different. Like, you got your teeth done. She's like, yep, I got veneers. That's it. Like, she's like trying, like looks like she's trying like not to cry or hold in like a very emotional reaction. And I just felt terrible for her. And after all of that unnecessary shit, they move into the Pavitt conversation about all of the shit that these women were talking about her sitting around the pool. And apparently Brynn lied about what she even said, referencing Jessel talking about her ex-boyfriend. Apparently they're talking about the Rawless hookup, and Brynn was saying that Jessel was very much in love with her ex, and that was the love of her life, and all this shit, and essentially married Pavitt knowing that she, like, loved this other man. Which is dangerous as fuck, because Pavitt, for whatever reason, believed it and thought Jessel was lying to him. And if Pavitt believed that, that means all of Jessel's family believed it, and Pavitt's family, because we all know, if we remember from this season, that the sun shines out of Pavitt's ass to all of their families. He can do no wrong. So if he really believed that Jessel was like in love with somebody else, that means they all believed it and she had to defend herself from all of them. And that's fucked up. That is so fucked up. And so Jessel's still not going off enough for me. She's like letting Brynn have it a little bit, but she's just like, why would you do that? Like, why would you say that? Like, that's not cool. And she also points out the fact that Brynn took every opportunity to beat her down when she could, which I've been saying this whole season, but everything out of Brynn's mouth towards Jessel was hatred, haterade, jealousy, ignorance, just trash. And for nothing, because why? Jessel does nothing to you. Nothing to you. And so this has Jenna activated. She is like whisper yelling at Brynn. I don't know why all these women just can't fucking yell. I don't know what's wrong with the vocal cords. But she's like, I can't believe you would do that to her. That is not right. Don't say anything. Like, she's just like, are we like, is a Silent Library reunion edition? Like, why are we whisper yelling? Scream at the bitch. Like, but Jenna's letting her have it and letting her know that she needs to be quiet, not defend it, and that it was wrong, and why would she do that to her, and all this other stuff. So about damn time that somebody stands up for Jessel. I'm just going to need them to talk above a whisper when they do it. It's okay to defend brown people. It really is. These women make me upset. But that was the reunion, pretty much in whole. Brynn getting her ass served to her, and she can't handle it. She can't compute it. She thinks Sorry is going to do it. She just doesn't know what happened. And I hope they fucking spit roast her at this reunion. And if you don't agree, don't watch my next video. I don't know what to tell you. But that was it. please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you back for more shit talking later.